Everybody flew in yesterday. Any bad experience, good experience? Anybody cursed any airlines? Did you think that they would have done a better job? Yes? No?
I didn't have a bag when I got here.
Oh, you didn't have bag? Okay. Did it finally arrive? Finally. Okay, great. Did airline apologize? No? No. Okay. So, again, customer touch point, right? Experience is very important. For any business, is back to basic. When you look at Airbnb, Airbnb just launched TripIt. So even though it's all about accommodation, but customer is not going to destination just for accommodation. Accommodation is an afterthought. They are going there because they want to experience that destination. It's package deal, things to do. It's experience, local host, taking user consumers to different places because you can find that information from local host. Now, they're also launching premium services for very, very select group of customers, very exclusive, personalized experience. Now, personalized experience might be a tent, but it still is personalized. So what we'll be discussing today is it's not important for your customers to be everywhere. Your customer can be anywhere, right? It can be, it can be buying a ticket, coming, and then traveling through different airlines, getting to the place. Customer can be anywhere, but as a marketer, we have to touch every single point of customer journey, whether it is online, offline, and that's precisely why, if you look at online giants are buying offline assets. So I just flew in yesterday night. Actually, somebody told me, I didn't see you yesterday night for dinner, and I just flew in from Seattle. It's amazing. Actually, Amazon really have an actual brick and mortar store there for books. You can go buy books from Amazon store. And they're building after building, which Amazon is renting from Microsoft ex-founder. Actually, the cab driver told me that all these buildings are owned by Amazon now. It's like, oh, really? And why? Because it's customer touch point, right? It's not about online or offline. It's about ensuring that we cover every single touch point of customer. Now, we have, thank you for Google team being here. Now let's look at how there are so many channels. Which channels really truly matters the most? Are we all living in Google World? Yes? Hyatt team would remember that. When I would go to Hyatt, I would be called as, Benu, you're always drinking Google Kool-Aid. It's not that I'm drinking Google Kool-Aid. Unfortunately, I can't fight this reality. This is a reality. 70% of search is owned by Google, whether it is a search or images or maps. 70% or more is owned by Google, and that's precisely why team is here. They want to know from you, what is your experience? Because search is not evolving, customer behaviors are evolving, right? And I know this is a very complex chart, so I'm just going to explain what this chart means to everyone. This chart is on Google's site, and it talks about every single thing happening, the site companies they're acquiring, the algorithm they're releasing. But none of it is important. What's important is what's happening to user behavior or customer behavior. So when you look at this, there are 6 or 7 things I highlighted, but the reason these are happening is because of customer behavior, right? When we are on mobile, we don't want to wait for crazy pop-ups. We do not want to wait, so download time is very important. We want custom, very, very custom offers based on our screen type. We want to make sure we know about the object before we even get there. So if you look at now, every single thing Google is releasing is aligning with what our customer want. So the point I'm trying to make is we don't ever have to chase any algorithm if we just chase our customers. And Anil said, and most of you guys know, I've done this for the last 20 years. And I started when I was 21 years old. So I'm 20. I started when I was 1 year old. I'm just kidding. Right? But truly, after doing it for 20 years, one thing I'm so confident that we at Milestone have done probably 5,000 plus sites, but Milestone site never gets any algorithm changes, our traffic goes up. And there is a reason, because we never chase Google, we always chase users. We are always chasing what user want. And I'll give you a lot of examples of how to take your real life problem from your user and integrate that in your tools and technologies in daily life. It's so simple. So simple to put 2 and 2 together. It's so entertaining. It's like solving a puzzle. So what are the 6 things? Speed, download fast, make sure you have secure sites, and that's what Google is releasing. Now, mobile is, we all know mobile is everywhere. In every single, most of the time, people are on mobile, adding, deleting, doing things on mobile. Now, what does all of that, how does that align with our goals, our customer goals? So let's go back to basic, and I'm going to take 2 minutes, have you look at this slide, and see everything we want to accomplish in digital media is that can be categorized in these 4 goals, right? Yes, any volunteer? Every single goal you have, because or what you want out of digital media, can this be categorized? Or digital marketing, not media, can it be categorized in these 4 broad buckets? Gaining new customers, brand protection, it doesn't matter which vertical. These are the goals for most of the business. We want to drive direct revenue. We want to gain new customers. We want to protect our current customers. One of the reasons we do this conference, and we love doing this, because we want to make people, really get to know Milestone. It's not about services or product, it's about how we are solving your problems, right? It's about brand protection. If you are from hospitality industry, you don't want your business to be coming from OTA. So there is a reason I wanted to bring this back. Again, bringing back to basic. Now, what is the hardest thing is there is so much information. There are so many channels. There are so many places. There are so many tactics. How does all of that align to your goals, right? So here is a framework. I'm going to share it with you. And this is a framework we released last year, and we've been building onto this framework. So the most important thing is identifying your goal. After you have your goal identified, then which channels and which tactics you're going to use to accomplish those goals, and how you're going to arrange across customer journey, right? What are you going to do? So if I miss my bag, it would be amazing if airline came to you and told you, or you could find information from airline, hey, this is what I'm going to do if this bag is missed. Or what would be amazing is when you booked your travel, right then they gave you this information. Because most of the travel are going to go through some kind of bad experience, or if it does happen. And end of the day, it's about attribution. So your goals, tactics, channels, arrange all of that, all of those based on customer journey and touch point, and then measure it. So 5-step process, right? You can pretty much cover every single digital media, digital marketing, every marketing in these 5 single steps for any vertical. So now I'm going to share with you how all your channels and customer touch point can be arranged. And this has happened actually last year. I was on a call with one of the customer, and concerned customer, again, customer been with us for 20 years or 18 years. Biggest concern is, what's happening to my website? I'm getting a lot of conversion, but most of the people or some of the people are not even coming to the website. Well, because information is grabbed from your site and going onto different screens. Website is a conversion point. People on top of your conversion, top of the funnel, are probably not going to come to the site. They're going to different places. So what we have tried to do here, and if you're a milestone customer, you have probably seen that this funnel, we have introduced a funnel for customer journey. And we arranged every single channels and tactics and every single conversion point from start to finish, just articulating, just completely touching every bucket to make sure that we align what we are doing based on our goals. So if your goal is to gain new customers for wedding, it's not necessarily that your tactic has to be branded search. If your goal is to protect your customer, then your tactic has to be securing your brand. Different tactics based on your goals, based on where you are in your customer journey, or based on what you want to accomplish. Any question? Is it too early? Yeah? Okay, so if it is all about customer journey and how we are going to cover every single touch point and every single category, then why shouldn't we think about our user, right? Going back to basic, let's think about our customers. What do they want? What do we know about our customers? How can we create personalized experience? So that starts from user intent, understanding intent for our customers, knowing what they are not telling us, because these customers are not like offline world where we could see these customers, right? These are all online customers. So I'm going to share with you a lot of case studies here and how we leveraged search to reach out to actual customer. So anywhere you take, customer always goes through 4 different stages, any vertical. Now, when it comes to hospitality, we call it dreaming, but if it's not hospitality, then it's going to be discovering. It doesn't matter which vertical. As a business, you have 4 main categories of converting a customer from discovering to buying phase and post experience. Right? This is universal for every single business out there. Dreaming starts with when you are thinking about something, when you're thinking about engaging with the vendor, when you're thinking about planning a trip, when you're thinking about going to a hardware store, when you're thinking about looking for a vendor. And planning is when you're serious about it. Now, it's a different thing that a lot of time we are thinking about hundreds and hundreds of ideas, but then when we take out time, we really crystallize our ideas, right? You're crystallizing your ideas to, this is where I want to go, or this is what I need to do to accomplish that. And then booking is that final transaction. And post-experience comes in after all these 3 phases are gone. And as I said, it's true for any vertical. Now, when you're creating your digital asset, it's important to think about these 3 most critical stages of your customers. What are they looking? What are they buying, right? So if somebody, and as you're thinking about digital assets, it's also important to know about customer. Now, old-fashioned way, before, when I started, we would know every customer just meeting with them, right? So my experience used to be in sales, you go and meet the customer, you know what they want. But in digital world, it's knowing about your customers through data. It's a data-driven science. You know about the customer, who is coming, what do they want, what kind of colors they want, what is their touch behavior, and there are a lot of attributes which you want to know before you start creating strategies for your customer. And this is basically explains a different steps of customer when they are touching your digital assets. So when you're dreaming, and let's say if you're thinking about taking vacation, you're looking for FAQs, you're looking for what's there to do. When you're thinking about planning, that's when you want to know exactly, especially for hospitality, you want to know what's there in that room, or how can I make a transaction, or actually even to make it better, you want to know what others are saying. So reviews become very important when somebody is planning. And then when you want to book, you don't have time to really read a lot of information. You want to just make a purchase. Call now, give me the phone number. And once that has happened, then it's a post experience. I'm at the hotel, I want to know how I can get Uber Eats, and I get Yelp and blah, 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 and how do I get pillows from front desk or things like that. So every single thing I want to know about the place or about my stay, that comes in post experience. Now, as I said, it's true for any vertical. You can take any vertical, your customer always goes in these 4 different stages. And any volunteer, can you see that every customer is going through these 4 stages, right? So if customer is truly booking, do they really want to know laundry list of information about accommodation? Probably not. They just want to book, and that's exactly what search engines and everybody is saying, mobile first. Mobile, when somebody is going to mobile, they are trying to book. They want to have transaction. Let's give them that. Don't give them the same content what we have on desktop, because mobile first is based on user behavior and their intent. To customize customize for their intent and what they're looking for. So we had Walter joined our team a year ago or seven months ago. So he added this formula. And I looked at the formula, I'm like, oh my God, finally. There is such a big need of marketing team in Milestone, because now we can really know, okay, when you add content with schema, then you get context. So Mike, I have to take you and our phone call story. So I was trying to call Michael, and Michael he works in Hyatt Select Service. I was visiting Chicago, and I have this really bad habit of trying to do things last minute. I was like, okay, Michael, yeah, we have to meet up, and I have his phone number, and I'm SMSing to his office number. And of course, it's not going to work. So I'm like, what's wrong? He's not responding to me. I SMS like 3 times. And next time I meet him, he's like, what happened? You never you never called me. I said, no, I SMS, check this out. He said, oh, Benu, but you are SMSing to my office number. Oh, okay. So that means I did not add in my Outlook or in my contacts, I did not add that was not your mobile number. I was really SMSing to a phone call operator, right? So there was no context. And that's exactly what schemas do. For search engine, the reason I gave that story is, for me, I could not, because I did not tag that information properly, I could not locate him. Same thing, search engines cannot ever locate you if you don't have right information, relevant information tagged properly. And that's what is a fundamental for everything which is happening now and will happen tomorrow. So from artificial intelligence to Google Lens to augmented reality to every single thing I will cover today, tomorrow, 10 years from now is all about schemas and how that most important information is captured from your site and pushed into Google database. Right? So again, if you're a Milestone customer and if you have a lot of sites on our platform, we have already taken care of that because we keep releasing latest schemas on the site all the time. Now, if you're not Milestone customers and you're working with someone, this is absolutely something you want to ensure that you have it on your site. And it's on schema.org. If different vertical, you can go to schema.org, and it has every kind of most important critical attributes which is needed. Okay, so why did I talk about schemas? Because they are like an ingredient. When you're cooking something, they're like an ingredient. And until you add schemas, it's not gonna make your content relevant. So right here, I'll give you an example of a property. They came by and they said, I have a serious problem. I said, okay, what is the problem? We are getting a lot of phone calls. Is that a problem? That should be a good news, right? No, we are getting a lot of phone calls, and it's a limited service property. They don't have enough people at the front desk to handle these phone calls. Okay, so let's do that. Why don't you, so what I said is, let's chase our users, right? Why don't you go to your front desk and give me every single question and bucket them in 7 different categories? And that's the homework I kind of gave him. Came back with 100 questions, and once I look at the bucket, every single bucket aimed towards airport and airport shuttle, and what is the distance, everything to do with airport. So what we did is we went to accommodation page, and we created a very nice content. Of course, he provided a lot of that content, but created a content, added schema, almost like cooking, right? You got the ingredient and added schemas to make sure search engine can read it, and arranged everything here. And overnight, I think within a week's time, every single question was showing up in voice search. And you can try it out. You use these queries, and they show up first page for voice search. And there were 3 big benefits happen. Of course, phone call reduced, which was a good thing. Conversion went up, second good thing. And traffic went up like crazy. And overall, ranking went up because they were showing up for every single question their customer had, right? So what I'm really trying to say is, optimizing for voice search is optimizing for your user. What do they want? What are they looking for? Things which is not about your hotel, it's about their convenience. And this is why we created this information flow. So all the search queries can be bucketed into 3 different buckets: information queries, navigational, and transactional. Now, when we talk about ourselves, right? When we talk about our hotel, Milestone talks about what Milestone has as product and services and contacts that. Who cares, right? Really, truly, nobody cares. What they care is, how's that solving our problem, right? I say that to Walter all the time. Walter, nobody cares what we offer. How are we solving their problem? But Walter doesn't listen to me, so it's okay. It's about information content, right? So 80% of the queries is always what, why, how you're solving the problems. And if we get this information from customers, that's when our content become rich for voice search for everything. So this is, once your design and digital assets are done, then it's about content, how you're gonna arrange the content and make sure that content is customized for what customers are looking for. So 3 different queries: informational, navigational, and transactional. Informational gets aligned with dreaming movement, yes? So you dream, and in dreaming movement, nobody cares about, I offer this product, I have this beautiful brand, whatever. Nobody cares. They're looking for how you are going to be able to help me, or what kind of things are there to do. That's, I want to know, I want to go, and I want to do it. Okay, so I took this slide from our enterprise team. Thank you, Ben. This is your slide. And what we saw is there are a lot of queries on, where do you buy the earrings, and how do you do the cleanups and things like that. A lot of information queries. And when you start introducing a lot of these queries and content regarding these queries on your site, there is an impact on ranking. Right here, you can start seeing that ranking starts going up because people are looking less about brand. They are looking less, if somebody is in love with your brand, they are going to come to your site anyway. But if you look at the informational queries, that's 80%. If you are located in destination location, if your brand is offering some unique services, there are a lot of problems that brand is solving. This is another test we had done last year, where we have taken a lot of information from front desk, from concierge, and introduced those on the site. So end of the day, what I'm trying to say is talking to your customers and understanding what kind of questions they have, and introducing those on your site is going to increase highest click-through, highest conversion, highest content. So if it is all about our customers, then truly, I get this question, is SEO dead? Right? SEO is never dead, it's just evolving. SEO is now a user experience, how your user is interacting with you, and what are you doing to make that user experience a pleasant one. I think if you're a milestone customer, you're probably again tired of hearing from us about speed. So I won't go into speed, but yes, speed is exceptionally important. There is a session today which is all talking about speed and what are the things you have to do, but the most important thing is speed, and every single thing is going from AMP to mobile site to PWA is all focused towards speed. There are things which we can do to make sure that your site is optimized. And this is a tool by Google. You also have Milestone inside, but this tool is Think with Google, and it gives you how much business you would lose if your speed was higher, if your download time was higher. So it will give you a percentage of business. You want to make sure you are either good or excellent. You don't want to be in fair or poor. But the good thing is that, there is such a huge gap. Most of the site would be somewhere between good and fair. They're not going to be in excellent. There are very few sites, probably 5 to 10% of entire word, online presence is going to be in excellent. Very, very few sites, because it takes different kind of optimization to make sure that your site show up in excellent. But if you go to this tool, it will give you how much traffic you would be losing if your site is, if your site is going to take time to download. And what are some of the things which you can do to make sure the site is downloading fast? And again, I won't go in too much into it. There is a separate section on it, but very, very, very important thing. Second is HTTPS. Right? When a lot of businesses are moving towards HTTPS. Why? Number one, it's great for your user. If your site is on HTTPS, there's already a trust built. Number two, search engines are rewarding HTTPS domains. There is an impact on your ranking. If your site is hosted on HTTPS, you will see a direct impact. It's also required for latest technology. So every single latest technology which is getting released by Google, it is getting an attribution. It's on HTTPS. So if you guys have not moved, this is a time next year or so we have to start moving towards HTTPS. And of course, it's needed or preferred by a lot of different browsers. Okay, so once HTTPS is out of the way and speed is out of the way, now let's think about SEO, user behavior. So Craig, this is for you. It's important to have that engagement with your customer and what are customers doing when they're getting to your site. And 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, we launched CRO package. We did a lot of testing and colors and things like that. And what we realized is by changing just few elements on the website, we are increasing our conversion. Why? Because when customer gets to your site is the touch point, which you have to cover, every single touch point. And this local ranking factor gets released every year by Moaz, and it talks about the biggest gain we saw in reviews and behavior. So reviews enables you to get higher trust factor, and behavior is engagement on the site. So if your customer is spending more time on a website, you're going to have higher conversion and higher ranking because customer is finding most relevant information. So there is a correlation between somebody spending more time versus somebody getting to your site and just bouncing back. So right here, and I know it's a little bit gibberish, but I kind of wanted to show you before and after iteration. This is Seaport, Craig's site, where we just changed a color for reservation menu. That's all we did, and we saw a good increase. Can everybody see it? Just changing color from black to orange. Another client of ours, where we took the site and made navigations and top navigation very simple, very readable, and ensure that it's not in Flash, it's not in different scripts, so search engines cannot read it, browser or customer can come and easily have interaction. And same thing, previous one where we named every single image what it is. So made it very simple for people to read and understand what they need to do. They optimized every single image, named every single image, added schema tags, and that's what it took to improve user experience or enhance user experience, which led to higher conversion. Okay, so I'll tell you about this. Drake Hotel is located very close to our Chicago office. You guys been to Chicago office? Some of you yesterday? Did you like the view? Beautiful view? Yes. I always wonder, I should move from Santa Clara to Chicago. Of course, an amazing team, but along with the team, a view is just to die for. Okay, so Drake Hotel is next to Chicago Hotel, Chicago office. And I said, okay, last trip, I'm going to stay at Drake. And I said, let's do a search. I already know Drake Hotel. I don't need to know that it's a historic hotel, right? I don't need to know that. What do I need to know? What do I need to know about Drake Hotel to make a decision? Price, location, experience, images, reviews, yeah? But who is giving that information? Drake Hotel is not. They're just telling me they're historic. I already know it. Don't tell me what I know. Give me what I want when I want that. That I'm in which moment? Am I dreaming or I'm planning? I'm planning, right? And if I'm planning, what I'm looking for? I'm looking for reviews. I'm looking for pictures. I'm looking for ratings. I'm looking for price. But I am getting that from third-party vendor. I don't get that from you. Then you complain whole day long that how business is taken away by OTA. Well, yeah, because they did it, and I couldn't. I'm still saying, thank goodness Drake Hotel is not our client. Okay, anyway. Sorry. Okay, so all I was trying to say here is TripAdvisor and Price Ad is giving exactly what my customer wants, where Drake Hotel is not adapting. They're not adapting to customers' need. They are giving me what I don't want, right? They are giving me images and everything right here. So then I picked another client of ours. I said, okay, is it true for milestone clients, right? Now again, it could be milestone client or non-milestone client, but the point I'm trying to make here is when I did navigational searches here, I can see every single asset coming from that domain. I'm getting reviews from that domain. I'm getting images from that domain. I'm also, for another one, I'm also getting price comparison, right? So if we start with end goal in mind. Stephen Covey, I love this book. I'm sure everybody has the very first habit, start with end goal in mind. If end goal is to convert our customer, and if we know what they want, let's add all of this and make sure we add what? Schemas. Add spice, right? Always add spice, or the food is gonna be so bland, right? And especially being Indian, I love to add Tabasco everywhere. I carry Tabasco when I'm traveling. But anyway, so you add spice through schemas and it shows up. And then you gain your ranking right here. And that's the holy grail. Understanding customer, their intent. Now, if you guys see here, you also see AMP as a first signal. So AMP was released by search engine, by AMP protocol, and AMP shows up higher in search result as compared to mobile results. And why? Because when you have trust signal, you are gonna get higher conversion. You're gonna get higher CTR because people can trust your domain. Information is coming from your domain. Okay, third most important question I get all the time from when I'm speaking, how do you optimize for local pack? How many of you want to know how to optimize for local 3-pack? Nobody wants to know? Okay, I won't give the recipe then. No? Okay. How do you optimize? You don't optimize for local pack. You figure out what a customer looking for. And what do I have to offer? And then add that in knowledge graph. So here is an example. This is another client of ours. And customers were looking for indoor pool, and they were looking for free Wi-Fi. Okay, let's add that in knowledge graph. And when you add that in knowledge graph and add what? Schemas, yes. By the time you are out, you guys will all know schemas and spice. So right here, once you add schemas and add that in knowledge graph, it starts showing up. Indoor pools, non-branded searches, right here. Or Wi-Fi, hotel with Wi-Fi, 4-star hotel. And that's so powerful because this click is unreplaceable. This link is unreplaceable. This click is unreplaceable. Nobody can get it, and it's so true because you are not gaming any system. You are just taking the most important attributes and optimizing it. So what's coming? Hopefully next year, when you're there, I'm gonna have the phone, and we are going to be looking at Tammy and say, Tammy, let me tell you everything what you're thinking. So that's scary, right? I was like, oh my God. Yes. It would be amazing, right? You walk with Google Lens and you can look at every single attribute and every single review, and that's what is coming. Augmented reality. And Google Lens is going to enable you to see most important information about that business. So I don't have to go to Google and do the search and find out Drake Hotel and then go to TripAdvisor. Lens is gonna give me all. What is the most important thing as Google Lens rolls out for businesses to ensure that they have it right? Attributes, right? And reviews. That has to be right because if you are offering indoor pool and if Google can't understand it, then you're not going to show up, right? So critical thing to have most important information properly tagged. Number 2, AMP is here, is evolving, but it's here to stay. We launched AMP sites last year. We were the first one to launch in the hospitality industry. AMP site, we have done almost 100 plus AMP site. There is a little case study of 12 AMP site we rolled. AMP sites are showing higher returns for mobile. So if you have an AMP site, there is a huge impact on conversion and traffic for mobile sites. Number 3 is your PWA. This is, again, we were trying to solve problem for our customer where PWA is your mobile site, but which will work without internet access. That's the easiest way to remember. So next generation of mobile sites are going to be PWAA, which again Milestone is launching, and we are working with Elena Horseshoe. We were trying to solve a actual business problem. They have a huge resort. I'll try to explain the problem. If I don't do it justice, please tell me. They have a huge resort. They want to reach their customers. There is a spotty internet access. So sometimes internet access is not there, and that's where you can use PWA very effectively. People don't want to download apps or get to mobile site. They want to, once they have it, whether you have internet access or not, you want to be able to interact. And that's what PWA does. You can have interaction without internet access. Now, not on Safari, but on all other devices, you can also send push notification. And that's a latest trend. You saw Google releasing a lot of algorithm related to PWA. Next is my favorite, chatbots. So bots is big time, launching by a lot of different, and I'm going to show you a bot today. So big time by a lot of big brands, small businesses. And the beauty of bot is you can really solve a chat, automated question, and you can keep training the bot, because it's hard to sometimes train. Hard to train because you have to write everything. With bot, it is built on artificial intelligence, and you can keep training. And so there are 3 different types of bot. Customer service bot is the most famous one, and that's the one I'm going to show you. Here are different bots created by different brands. Pretty much all top retailers do have a brand. Now, when questions are not answered by brand, you can have live attendant. So you still have live chat, but you can automate 50% of those or 60% of those by using bot. So this time for a change, I didn't want to do a beta on Milwoden. I said, okay, let's do a beta on Milestone. So the problem I was trying to solve, we get all these phone calls, like hundreds of phone calls every single day. Different offices pick up phones, and there's always we have time slot for different assistants who are picking up these phone calls, and a lot of time they have answers, they don't have answers. So I asked my assistant, I said, okay, why don't you go and research top 50 questions customers are asking from you and different assistants across different offices, took all those questions, used artificial intelligence to create a bot. So again, I'm just showing you a very simple bot where we used few questions, but the good thing is that if these questions are not answered, you can have the live attendant. You can use interaction with your customer to train your bot, so that's your artificial intelligence. And you can also use a lot of this data on your website to create content, right? So if you have a huge team handling a lot of Q&A, that can be automated, really solving customers' day-to-day problem. Any question? Isn't it amazing, right? You can go for coffee, go for a walk. By the time I'll go and have my breakfast with a lot of Tabasco, and bot will answer everything. Whenever sales ask me a question, I'm going to use bot to answer. So key takeaway, it's all about UX, right? UX is your new SEO. SEO is never going away, but user experience is your new SEO. Speed is exceptionally critical, right? So optimize for speed, optimize everything for speed. Add some spice to everything we do, which is schemas, which is going to give artificial intelligence, which is a framework for augmented reality, artificial intelligence, everything happening in the world. And last is leverage latest technology, AI, chatbots, PWA. These are all the latest technologies which is going to be evolving. I hope you enjoyed the session. So I'm going to give you one more thing. So you probably see in your folder, is the folders here? Everybody has a folder? Okay, awesome. So if you don't mind, just open the folder. There's a really nice, yes, absolutely. Thank you. So as I said, thank you. As I said, it's back to basic. So let me give you a little story about core values. Last year, John Wallace were here. He was a ex-CMO of Hyatt, really, really close friend. It's so funny, so good to have Mike and Ryan here, and we started going back to our Hyatt days. So after retiring from Hyatt, he joined an organization called Simon, and he was here last year. He went and visited Milestone office. If you have not watched this video, I highly recommend all of you to watch this video. It's like a 2-minute video on TED Talk. It's by Simon. It starts with why. Why are you doing what you're doing? So my entire session today was going back to basic. It's the same thing, organization value. So this little flyer, which my assistant could do because I automated a lot of things. She made this pretty one for everyone, all of you. It talks about milestone core value, how we are doing and what we are doing and why are we doing, right? What are we doing on a daily basis, how we are constantly evolving. This poster is everywhere in all our offices. And if there is a problem you encounter, if there is any value which is near and dear to you, definitely tweet us. We want to know more about it. There are a lot of stories behind every single value within Milestone. A lot of our onboarding presentations are aligned with this. And these values came from day-to-day challenges and day-to-day opportunities he saw within the Milestone. I have to say one thing, John Wallace is probably one of the best wordsmiths I have ever met in my life, because he could see what we are saying, and without telling us, he can put words around it. So hopefully you enjoyed the session. If there is any question, I can take it now. Thank you.